Welcome back to week 2 of Luigi's Mansion, everybody.
We're talking to you from the distant past, and distant by meaning like 3 or 4 weeks.
Indeed. And in fact,
I
by
always,
this...
I always missed this specific cutscene. I think I always skipped it.
I think I skip it every other time, but I wanted to show that at least once.
Yeah.
Hey look, a thing. He's crying.
Did I interrupt you? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, the chandelier did. So, this only happens a couple times in the foyer, but the chandelier will try to kill you.
Twice. It'll happen twice for some reason, and then it won't happen again after that.
Just fuck.
So anyway, other than ghosts, the main theme to this game is looting. So I hope you like money.
I do. I could use
Okay,
it
so we
to
found this little guy sitting in the dark alone, crying, near the door. So the Toads here have been assigned to check the place out, because Princess Peach is like, where is Mario? Where is he? Go get him. And they can't do it because they're Toads. So they don't...
Bye.
Bye. I don't think Luigi has any faith in them either. Alright, bye, Toad.
For some reason, when the game came out...
Oh, there it is. That's the second time. Yeah.
For some reason, when the game came out, I was amazed at the fact that I could put out the candles. I don't know why.
I don't know, it's a nice little attention to detail that you wouldn't ordinarily see. Okay, let's actually light up the room.
Yeah. This also made me really want to buy a mansion.
If only it were that simple.
You know what this mansion actually reminds me of? Every time I see the foyer, for whatever reason, I don't know. Have you ever seen Casper, the one with Christina Ricci?
The original Casper movie, like the one in the 90s?
I think so. It had the whole machine thing that turned him into a human again if he wanted.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I loved that movie. I also kind of had a crush on Christina Ricci, so that helped. But
Neat.
random gold coins.
Money! So, this mansion, like many other mansions in real life, is filled to the brim with money. And we are going to be playing a looter who enjoys collecting money by vacuuming it up into a vacuum.
Which makes, total sense. You never change the bag, by the way.
Well, you do, but you stuff it full of ghosts, and you change it every so often.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
So, one of the weird things about this mansion is the layout. Some of it makes sense, like a lot of it does. The foyer here, the thing up here, makes a lot of sense. But, some of the rooms are oddly placed, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we'll be able to get into more of that as we actually see the rooms as they are in their strange
Is this
locations.
the only place that has the purple lights?
I don't think it is. It's one of the places that comes to mind. There is one thing. There is one of the things about the mansion that shows that maybe it wasn't originally intended to be a Mario game, and that's that like Professor Egat and those portraits on the walls of human people. You don't see humans in Mario games that often, so it looks a little out of place.
They do look like, well, kind of like Luigi, like the nose and stuff like that.
Kinda.
But yeah, I mean, technically though, they are ghosts. So Luigi and Mario could just be this, like, the last two of some distant, dead race.
The long-lost dead humans.
Yeah, I mean, Peach and Daisy are human, but...
Arguably. Oh no! The paintings want us!
I've never really understood this.
Bleh.
This is the only time the paintings talk, if I remember correctly, too.
Yeah, if I remember, this specific area in the game was used in like a playable demo in stores before the game came out. So I think that was meant to be like an introduction to this mansion is spooky. Go deal with it.
Are you afraid of the dark?
That was a show.
Yeah, Was that on at the same time this came out?
No, I think that was a little bit before Luigi's Mansion. That was like a 90s show.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was around the same time as the Goosebumps show.
The Goosebumps show was... It was good. It got worse when they had a budget. Like, as soon as they started making really cheap, like, as soon as they started having a budget to make things look slightly more real, it got worse.
Oh, you know what we should do sometime, BCD?
Our own version of riff tracks?
Yes! That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking we can find some videos of, like, Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark, and we could sync them up and record ourselves talking over the videos.
I would love that. I remember this room, partly because of the fact that it always spawns a gold bar, for whatever reason. Essentially, the way that the mansion works is every time you save and quit, the loot respawns. Some of it is. Gold bars...
Not a lot of it.
Oh, you lost him.
I did that on purpose. I'm trying to loot the room before I capture all the ghosts.
Yeah.
So you'll see a few instances where I just sort of ignore the ghosts.
Yeah. But at one point in time, I was trying to do a as much money as I could run. But by the way, you get a grade on how much money you get. You may have already said that.
I didn't say that about the overall game, no.
Yeah. It'll be a spoiler later. But if it's a spoiler, my god, you're young.
I wouldn't say it's a spoiler because I've already played this game and recorded it before.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I still say you shouldn't be taking it.
I know, but when it was like my very first playthrough, and when you watch stuff from like 6 years ago, all you really see are the flaws.
I know what you mean, but you don't take this one down.
I'm not going to.
Even for posterity.
Yeah. So, like, I should also mention that this is post-commentary. I've already played through the whole game. And I'm with, I'm recording it with Brennan because I wanted to do it with Brennan because he likes this game a lot, too. In fact, this was kind of his idea.
Yay! I actually calculated it out. If we have 8 episodes, which it looks like we do, you will be joining us on Halloween night for the final.
Absolutely.
Originally, I was going to dress up like a ghost, and I had bought giant googly eyes on Amazon.
You
I was gonna
did?
dress up, and yeah, I did. I was going to get a white sheet, and I have a top hat, and I had these giant googly eyes, and I was going to see if we could do a hosting by, like, I don't know, I was going to think of some really ridiculous name for a ghost host.
Oh, like the Crypt Keeper, kind of.
Yeah, except for, like, not creepy and makes me think he's some sort of mummy.
That's another show that I barely remember, but I remember it being, like, genuinely spooky.
Yeah, I remember being scared, like, heavily by that show.
Yeah, it wasn't like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark. I think it was actually for adults, and it was genuinely creepy.
Look at this.
Oh, yes, before I forget. This mansion is filled with a few special ghosts called Speedy Ghosts, and they're those blue types. There are 15 of them total in the game. And if you don't capture it right away, it flies around the room. And if you fail to capture it at that point, you lose the opportunity to capture it. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because they give you a ton of money. And since money determines your rank in the overall game, you want to collect as much as you can. Or you don't. It depends
Also, the
on how much
green
you care.
ghosts. The green ghosts are actually. I always called them garbage can ghosts. I actually had the original guide for this game when it came out, for whatever reason. So I was looking through it at one point in time, and these are garbage can ghosts, which is why they're throwing bananas. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
And there's actually different names for all the different ghosts, but I don't remember them right now.
Neither do
I could, however, look them up.
The point is, this game is filled with there's a lot of variety in this game. There's a lot of hidden treasures and little treats all over the place. The wardrobe. Luigi's confused. So, look at those clothes that are swinging back there. They're basically planks. Behold.
Starch. That's why you use starch.
Would you wear those?
I mean, I've had to wear something similar to it at one point.
That sounds extremely uncomfortable. So, let's talk, Brendan. Let's say you actually did get this house. Like, you received a letter in the mail, and you came to this place, and it was all yours.
I'd be very happy, considering I could pay off my student loans.
You wouldn't even have to sell the place. You could just go in there and grab all the loot and then pay off your student loans that way.
Well, exactly, and because it's I don't want to spoil that, but because it respawns loot, essentially you could just use this as like a freaking like bank.
You could destroy the economy. The moon.
Surprisingly high textured moon.
It's actually a photograph of the actual moon, believe it or not.
Let's just blow up the moon.
Spoilers.
So I was actually just Googling something.
Behold! Pain! The mirrors in this mansion serve as warp gates, and if you inspect them with your Game Boy Horror, you will warp back to the foyer, no matter where you are in the game.
Oh, did you, crash there?
No, I stopped recording at that point, because I wanted to make sure the recording was working fine.
Ah. For the longest time, this was my ringtone.
Oh, it's not anymore?
No, I went to a new phone. I finally got a smartphone.
Oh, right. I can
I'd
send
love
you
to
the
get it back
ringtone.
again.
Yeah, let me do that at some point.
We should.
Okay, so... Yeah, if I had this... You know what I would do if I actually owned this mansion? I would probably, like, convert it into, like a amusement park, sort of.
Well, so I actually was thinking about this at one point in time. Technically, oh yeah, Ghost Mice are kind of funny. Technically, the mansion is from a very different time period from the one that Luigi lives in, if you think about it. So there are actually a lot of antiques in the building that you can basically open up like a friggin' museum.
This place basically is a museum. Okay, so
Yeah.
this room introduces a new concept to the game. And that's the mini-boss ghost we were talking about earlier. And as I said before, this game is sort of weird, because it's sort of like... They're basically humans living here.
I mean, not all of them are human, but yeah.
Well, debatable. So, you just play around for a little while, and eventually you just find a dude sitting in a rocking chair.
Did you get the mouse in this room?
You'll see.
Okay, so what I'm referring to, and I don't remember if it's here or not. If there's a blue ghost, there probably isn't a mouse. There are cheeses hidden around the mansion. If you interact with them, a golden ghost mouse will spawn. And if you can catch that, it will basically act like a blue ghost. They only come around once, but I think you get a second chance later on in the game, which we'll get to. But they're kind of hard to see, and unless you're in first person, you mostly can't see them.
Yeah, the game encourages searching, and if you're not searching with your, like, by vacuuming things up, you're searching through the Game Boy Horror device. Like how I was doing earlier in the video while I was checking little things. You don't necessarily have to do that, but if you check behind furniture, you might occasionally find slices of cheese. There's 5 of them total in the game.
There's 5? Oh.
There are 5 slices of cheese total in the game.
You also can use the first person to look at the wall that you can't see. This comes into account sometimes, but generally there's not really much there.
Oh, by the way, there's a little, see that right there? That book that he's holding?
What does it say?
It says Mario Story. That is the Japanese title for Paper Mario.
Oh, cool.
So he's
oh,
reading
there's the
Paper
cheese.
Mario the game. Yep, there's the cheese. The first piece of cheese is hidden behind the desk.
Did Paper Mario come out?
It did. It had already. It was one of the last games to be released on the N64.
All right. I really liked Paper Mario. You did a Let's Play of that, didn't you?
I did. It's still on the channel, actually.
That
Of
one's
the original
really good.
Paper Mario.
I really want you to do Thousand Year Door because that is like the iconic game for after this. It's the iconic game for GameCube.
Yeah, Luigi, you nod your head. Okay, now we're actually going to try to capture this guy and deal with the elephant in the room. So, each of these mini-boss ghosts has about 100 health total. And you notice that they're dropping these little bits there called pearls. If you deal 10 damage to him, you get a small pearl. If you deal 50 damage to him, you get a medium pearl. And if you deal 90 damage to him, you get a large pearl. Now, when I say deal, you're doing all this damage at once, in one vacuum. If you get small pearls, you get bronze. If you get the middle pearl, you get silver. And if you get the large pearl, you get gold ranking. So in order to get a gold ranking mini-boss ghost, you have to do more than you have to do 90 or more damage to him on your first vacuum strike.
And by the way, just to mention this, a lot of the things in the game you can interact with using the vacuum. Some of them will actually change. Some of them just open draws, or they might release dust or whatever. But things like the fan or the things like the bed, stuff like that, it usually changes it somehow. And I think that's kind of cool.
That's right. For a lot of the things in the game, you can tell whether or not you've checked by how they've changed after you interact with them. Alright, so I think we found the first ghost's wife, I think. Or sister, or
I think it's supposed to be a family.
You're right, actually, and we'll see more evidence of that later.
Because if you look at the bed, it's a two-person bed. And
That's
he was
right. And this is referred to as the master bedroom. Oh, one other little hidden treat here, too. Sometimes you'll find ceiling fans in the game, and there are dollar bills in them for no reason. Other than that, that's where you find treasure.
People hide
now,
stuff, I'm not really sure why.
I've never thought to hide things in fan blades before.
I mean, I think I've hidden stuff on top of fan blades, but then I turn it on, then I forget, turn it on, and it hits me in the face.
Okay, so in order to deal with this ghost, you have to pull the back of the curtain before she has a chance to deal with it. You capture her.
Every now and then, also, you saw it in the last boss. There it is. They'll spawn in the little mushrooms. If you get hit by the mushrooms, you shrink, and your vacuum is automatically broken. So technically, it's it's trying to give you a lower rank. If you hit it, you get a lower rank.
Yeah. You didn't see it in the first two, but actually, let me get into this in just a moment. So, there is something in that room there.
Let's leave it alone. It's a silly place. Did you ever show off the doors?
I don't think I did.
Okay, so the doors that he's avoiding right now, the two that are in front there, if you interact with those, they're actually fake doors. Most of them you can tell because they don't shake when you vacuum them, and later on you can actually destroy them. They don't really do too much, but they do. They will damage you and take some of your coins. So there's not a hell of a lot, but
yeah. So now that we've taken out the father and the mother ghosts, it's time to go after their son, because apparently we're a serial murderer.
Well, I mean, this baby is the devil.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet.
It's a baby. It's the devil.
Oh. So the two are synonymous.
Yes, children scare me. They're small and loud.
You know what? That's fair.
Why is he just kind of crawling in midair?
Because that's what babies do.
I really hope not, because that'd be terrifying. Yeah, you dropped the ball there, Leon.
I dropped the ball. Well, that's okay, because we can do that.
I think the first time I played this, I died, because I didn't know what to do.
You know, that's fair. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a short game, and we are already dealing with the first boss of the game itself. And, I don't know how you feel about this,
you know, hellscape.
But, this is always how I pictured I would die.
This is not how I pictured I'd die. Remember when I said it's not like... It's creepy, but it's not like overly like, oh my god, creepy? This is This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's creepy. The way it screams like that is a creepy thing. Like, it's not overtly like, and then the mansion was filled with gore and evil and blood, but it's uncanny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as to say the game is scary though. I would be more like it's sort of it's like a haunted house. Like,
yeah,
I've
I
never...
will say that this boss fight. Oh, you got a silver.
No, I didn't. The rules for boss rankings are different than they are for mini boss rankings. It's impossible to capture all of the bosses in one vacuum. So instead, they base the rankings off of your health. If you lose, if you get down to 90 HP, you get silver. If you go down to 50 HP, you get bronze.
If you get down to 0, you get dead.
You do get dead if you go down to 0. And I don't know if you necessarily want to become a ghost. Because if you
Yeah,
do
I was actually gonna say this earlier. I was just googling something to try to find the ghost names.
Yeah.
Because most of the ghosts that you can catch that drop pearls or bosses, you can actually go into your Game Boy Horror and read their name and a little bio. I don't know if you do that later on, but
it causes lag when I try to do that, so I don't really.
okay. But the miniature ghosts, like the trash can ghost, the grab ghost, all that kind of stuff, they don't actually have names in the game, technically. So I was just googling stuff like to see if I was naming them correctly. However, while I was doing that, apparently Luigi's Mansion 3 has been announced.
What? Really?
Yeah, it's for the Nintendo NX launch.
You're
title.
joking. Wait. Hold on. After we finish recording this episode, we're gonna have to take a look at that and research that, because I want to know about that if that's true. By the way,
yeah, I don't know if
that's
that's true. It's just like there's a couple articles saying that Luigi's Mansion 3 rumored to be NX launch title.
Oh, it's a rumor. Well,
but it's backed up by people saying that at Nintendo. So
let's not jump to conclusions. After we start recording,
let's jump to conclusions. Let's go on this hype train and ride it till the end.
Yes, let's ride this bastard. But anyway, as I was saying, we defeated the boss ghost, and now this place is lit up and played, and it's now actually playing in a unique track that you don't hear at any other point in the game.
Really?
Well, except for when you beat bosses. It's very quiet though, but I'd suggest listening to it because this game has a really nice soundtrack. The keyword being atmospheric. Each of the tracks, I think, works really well with what's happening in the game.
I don't know if Leon will fuck up as hard as to be able to show you this, but your health actually also does one other thing. You just reminded me of it. When you are at lower health, you can call out for Mario. You can call out for Mario no matter your health. But when you're at lower health, it gets more and more desperate.
Like right now, if I were to call for Mario, I'd be like, Mario, Mario, where are you?
But at like 10, you're like, Mario!
No! Actually, if you're at like 10, he sounds hurt. He doesn't even scream like that if he's at 10.
Really?
Like, he just sounds like he's in pain. Like, Mario. Mario? Like that.
Which is kind of terrifying in a way, because it's like you're dying.
Yeah, it's again, this game isn't exactly overtly scary, but it's creepy at points.
I do have to ask, how did the ghosts stay inside the machine before this? But whatever.
Science. Science is how it works.
Yep. Science.
So, now that we've captured a family of ghosts, of mother, father, and son, let's
wash
put
them,
them through
press
this.
them,
Zap them,
and then apparently put them into an oven that presses them.
and finally we'll hang them on the wall. Because, oh boy, when I die and my ghost starts roaming the earth, that's what I want my final fate to be.
Kind of reminds me of the Portrait of Dorian Gray. Just not as good.
Oh, jeez. Alright, everybody, we're approaching the last minute or so of this video. So, to recap, we've gone through the first area of the game called Area 1. We have found 3 ghosts. And to review the treasures we found, Ah, never mind. Lag.
Never mind. And
But,
by the way, when you beat the game, there's actually a secret mansion you can go to that gives you more money, and your vacuum is slightly stronger, but the ghosts are more powerful.
It's basically it's like New Game Plus. Like it's the same mansion, but the statistics on it are different.
The pictures also change slightly depending on their frames, I think.
That's true. Depending on how well you've ranked in the game, you'll get different portraits. Anyway, 3 seconds left. Gotta go. Bye.
Ah!